my name is Bryce McCourt, and I am an online student through GCU pursuing a Master's of Science in Chemistry with an emphasis in education. And today I will be discussing about building relationships with your adult learners in the higher education setting. But first, we need to understand what would be the importance of building that relationship between an instructor and students in the higher education setting. And I believe that it is because of the need of those students with their academic demands and also their workload schedules and also with their personal lives as well. And we can see that and analyze that through an adult learning theory called McCluskey's theory of margin. And what that tells us is that adult learners, they need to juggle multiple responsibilities and demands. These could be single mothers who have families. This could be people that work full-time jobs and also are pursuing college classes and getting a degree. This could just be multiple things that a professor or a course instructor in the higher education setting would need to take into consideration. And we need to help them by understanding, by being loving along with it, and we need to maintain and help them maintain some margin of power in their lives, that margin in life ratio, in order to help them engage in their learning. And there are some practices to help course instructors build the relationships and the positive rapport with the adult learners in classes. And something that I would suggest that could be done would be to encourage and motivate the students through the multiple student learning activities, such as if they are independently researching, if they are slowly but surely building onto self-directed learning, which is where they would determine the learning goals. They would determine the resources that they need. And having that strong teacher-student relationship will lead to the higher motivations to study, the higher motivations to want to do well, and the higher levels of the self-directed learning. And what the course instructor could also do as well is specify the effect of the social context on the student motivation and teaching approaches such as autonomy, the support, structure of the class, and involvement with it. And these are teaching approaches referred to as needs supportive teaching. And I believe course instructors really need to take that into consideration, especially the social context that would help students learn and build and be motivated in their learning. So you're probably asking, how would I develop and learn the needs of my students and the interests that they have? How would I be able to go about that? Well, I believe that a course instructor should be able to implement multiple forms and varieties of assessments to then collect that data, such as through a pre-test, through a pre-assessment, through a questionnaire, through a survey, to then find out where are your students' learning strengths, what are their learning weaknesses, what is an interest that they have, and then you can build upon that in your course. And that would be something that I would definitely take into consideration in my own class. And how would I then address student viewpoints that are maybe different from my own, that are different from their other classmates? And I believe that a course instructor setting expectations for the class would help with that. So clarifying at the beginning of a course that the class is a safe learning environment, a safe classroom climate, and that all perspectives, all opinions would be respected and that they would be acknowledged as well. So a student wouldn't be scared half to death to present their opinion or their viewpoint or perspective, and that any disrespect toward an opinion, toward anything like that, toward a classmate, that will not be tolerated in my class. And finally, how would I apply the Christian worldview by supporting culture and diversity in my classroom? And that would be setting an expectation of having an inclusive environment, implementing multiple learning activities, and giving students a choice. Even if the student is from a different culture, let them have a choice in how they present their level of mastery and learning. And also keeping Matthew 22:37 through 40 in mind, where the Lord said to love the Lord thy God with all of your heart, your soul, with all of your mind, and to also love people, love your neighbor as yourself. Thank you very much.